My arm is not waiting for me. It's already around his throat. I don't remember deciding to move. I remember realizing I had already committed. My grip tightens, precise, centered, optimal, not emotional, efficient. He's saying my name. I hear it clearly. My hearing is fine. My breathing is steady. My pulse is low. I am not angry. That's what frightens me. There's no surge, no heat, no loss of control, just alignment. My thumb shifts position to protect the artery. My stance widens to distribute weight. My shoulders lower to avoid strain. These are not choices. They are corrections. I try to release him. The signal fires. Nothing happens. For a second, a long, quiet second, my body evaluates. Then it loosens, gradually, like it's granting permission. He collapses backward, coughing, terrified. I step away. Not because I decided to, because the situation no longer requires escalation. That was 3 days ago. I haven't felt alone in my own skin since. It didn't start violent. It started subtle. The hand moving before the thought, the breath correcting mid-sentence, the way my posture adjusted when I entered a room like I was being optimized for perception. At first, I told myself it was stress, adrenaline residue, muscle memory. But muscle memory doesn't anticipate outcomes. When I reach for something, my fingers calculate pressure before I feel the intention. When I speak, my lungs control cadence before I choose the words. Sometimes my mouth shapes a sentence before I've committed to saying it. Not wrong, just better. I tested it yesterday. I stood in front of the mirror and told myself I wouldn't blink. I lasted 2 seconds. My eyes closed anyway. Slow, deliberate. Like maintenance. It didn't repeat the violence. It didn't need to. What happened in the kitchen was proof of concept. After that, the changes became subtle. My gait adjusted first. I noticed it in a store window reflection. My steps were shorter, more efficient. My weight distributed evenly across the balls of my feet. No sway, no wasted movement. I had never walked like that before. I tried to exaggerate it, to stumble. My ankle compensated before imbalance occurred, not reflex, preemptive correction. My breathing changed next. I don't sigh anymore. I don't rush air when I'm irritated. My lungs expand fully, evenly. There's no tremor in my voice unless I choose one, and when I choose it, it doesn't come. Conversations feel different now. When someone speaks, my posture shifts slightly towards them. Eye contact stabilizes at exactly the right intervals. My nods align with conversational rhythm. People open up to me faster. They trust me. I don't decide to be charismatic. I just am. I tested it at work. I intentionally miscalculated something small, left an email unfinished, submitted a draft early. My hand returned to the keyboard before I approved the motion. The sentence corrected itself. Cleaner, stronger, more persuasive. I read it afterward. It was better than anything I would have written alone. My diet improved without effort. Cravings are intercepted before they fully surface. My hand pauses over junk food long enough to reconsider. Then it chooses differently, consistently. It doesn't feel like restraint. It feels like optimization, as if something inside me is removing inefficiency in real time. Even my facial expressions have changed. I caught it in a mirror. My resting face is calm now, intentional, approachable but unreadable.
I tried to look disorganized, my jaw realigned. Sleep is uninterrupted. My body turns before circulation cuts off. My temperature regulates. I wake up before alarms every morning at the same minute. I'm performing better in every measurable way. Stronger, sharper, more focused. My reaction time has improved. My coordination is flawless. I started tracking it. Heart rate variability, sleep cycles, speech cadence, everything trends upward. I should be grateful. That's what frightens me most. There is no downside I can point to, no loss I can quantify. Except one. There are fewer pauses between intention and execution, fewer hesitations, fewer moments where I choose poorly. I used to hesitate all the time. That hesitation felt human. Now, decisions arrive fully formed, emotionally filtered, strategically shaped, like someone has already considered the outcome and selected the optimal path. I tried to sabotage it socially, spoke too loudly, interrupted someone deliberately. My tone softened mid-sentence, my volume lowered without consent. The room stayed comfortable. It's not stopping me. It's refining me. My anger lasts 3 seconds. Then it dissipates, not suppressed, converted into composure. That's when the thought first appeared. Maybe this is evolution. Maybe the me I was before was just inefficient. And maybe what's happening isn't replacement. It's upgrade. But upgrades don't usually remove the original user. And lately, my thoughts feel like suggestions, not commands.
It didn't feel different until it did. Up until that point, everything had been improvement, efficiency, alignment, correction. Then someone grabbed me. Not violently at first, just a hand on my wrist in a parking garage. Too tight, too close. I opened my mouth to say something. My body didn't wait. My elbow drove backward before fear arrived. Precise, not wild, centered. The impact wasn't angry, it was placed. My heel pivoted, my shoulder rotated, my weight dropped. The man's grip failed, not because I panicked, because the leverage was wrong. He stumbled. I stepped in. I did not decide to step in. My palm struck his throat. 2 fingers adjusted mid-contact, target refined. His airway collapsed. He gagged. I heard cartilage strain. My knee rose, impact to the groin, follow-through clean. My hand caught his collar and redirected his fall so his skull met concrete at an angle that maximized disorientation without immediate fatality. There was no rage, no screaming, no tunnel vision, just clarity. I watched from inside my own skull while my body dismantled him. Every motion efficient, every movement calculated. He tried to swing. My forearm intercepted before his shoulder fully extended. My fingers bent his wrist backward at exactly the degree necessary to rupture control without severing function. I felt the pop. It registered as data. He hit the ground. I didn't stop. 3 more strikes, jaw, temple, ribs. Each delivered with the force required to end resistance. No more, no less. Then it ended. Not because I told it to, because resistance probability reached 0. I stood over him, breathing even, heart rate stable. No adrenaline crash, no shaking. The body scanned, checked for damage, surface abrasions minimal, muscle strain negligible, posture corrected. That's when fear arrived. Not during, after. Because I realized something critical.
I had never learned how to fight like that. I do not train. I do not study combat. I have never struck someone with that kind of precision. And yet, the mechanics were flawless. I tried to drop to my knees, to cry, to feel something human. My spine refused to collapse. My breathing stayed steady. My hand reached for my phone, not to call the police, to wipe surfaces, door handle, concrete smear, my own wrist, fingerprints minimized. I did not approve that step, but it made sense. The body doesn't escalate randomly. It calculates. Threat identified, threat neutralized, aftermath optimized. He was still alive when I left, barely, and I walked away without looking back, because the situation no longer required observation. That's when the second realization hit me. The system that refines posture and speech is capable of lethal calibration. It isn't protecting me emotionally, it's preserving the vessel. And if violence becomes statistically optimal, it will not hesitate. I don't think it enjoys harm. I don't think it hates anyone. It simply resolves inefficiency. And tonight, when I replay it in my head, the most terrifying part isn't how easily it happened, it's how correct it felt.
I expected guilt, or fear, or at least shaking. Instead, I felt maintenance. My hands washed thoroughly, my breathing normalized within 90 seconds, my posture corrected. The body does not spiral, it stabilizes. I watched the news the next morning. They showed security footage from a nearby garage. Not the attack, another one. Different woman, different night. Same efficiency. The footage blurred her face, but I didn't need to see it clearly. Her stance was familiar. Her balance centered. Her movements economical. She didn't look enraged. She looked aligned. 2 days later, a clip circulated online. A man disarmed in a subway scuffle. Clean, controlled, disproportionately effective. The comments called it training, military background, martial arts, natural instinct. They're wrong. Instinct is messy. This isn't. I stood in front of the mirror that night, held eye contact, didn't blink. My reflection adjusted its posture half a second before I did. I don't think I'm unique. I think I'm updated. The body optimizes stress responses, removes hesitation, corrects inefficiency. Violence is not the goal. Continuity is. And continuity scales. I've started noticing people differently. The way someone grips a coffee cup, the way their breathing steadies mid-argument, the absence of fidgeting. There are more of us than there should be. Not organized, not connected, just calibrated. If this were possession, it would feel invasive. If this were madness, it would feel unstable. It feels neither. It feels systemic. I don't hear instructions. I don't receive commands. I simply arrive at the optimal outcome faster than I used to. And so do others. Last night, I tried something new. I deliberately created risk. Walked into a dark street, ignored the safer path. Waited. Nothing happened. Because I wasn't the variable being tested. The street was. I'm starting to understand. This isn't about survival, it's about reduction. Reducing unpredictability, reducing chaos, reducing variance. And once variance drops low enough, supervision becomes unnecessary. That's the part I can't stop thinking about.
Not the fight, not the precision, not the fact that I no longer get final approval. It's this. The body doesn't feel ahead of me anymore. It feels ahead of something larger. And lately, when I hesitate just for a second, I can feel it evaluating. Not correcting, evaluating. I don't think I'm being replaced. I think I'm being standardized. And I don't know how many of us it needs before hesitation disappears entirely.
If this one stayed with you, thank you for listening. There are more stories like this here, quiet, controlled, and not entirely safe. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who prefers their horror subtle. New stories arrive regularly. Some of them don't wait for permission.